Hello, my name's Ross and this is my vwcrafter van. It's actually dubbed the Space Crafter. We looked at all sorts of different vans because obviously what happened was we won some money from Persimmon Homes, who you can see probably just there, and they gave us 50 grand. We actually won a competition, so we got 50 grand to get a van and turn it into a mobile observatory. That's that is a tough thing to do. So we're sitting there thinking, right, first of all, we need to get the right van. We have to find out how big, you know, the height of it, what's going in it, telescopes, binoculars, things like that. How are we going to fit stuff in there? So naturally, you go online, you look online. I was lucky enough that at the time I was actually renting vans. So from Enterprise Car Hire, I was going and renting different types of vans. So I got to try the Ford, the Mercedes Sprinter, I believe it is. I'm not really into vans, so I don't really know them all. But I tried them all out, and then I tried this one, the VW Crafter. And it just felt right. I don't know why. It just, for me, I just felt it was the van for me. And then from there, I then looked it up, decided, right, I've had to measure all the telescopes. Say, right, if I'm standing in the van, I don't want to be stood in the van like that. So I needed to make sure that if I go in it, we had a high top one so I could actually stand in there. So we ended up going to a place called Brian Curry, who are the guys, they literally in Milton Keynes, where I live. And I popped in there, said hello to them, said, look, I'm after a van. I think these are the sort of specifications I need to turn it into a mobile observatory. We're a charity, so we're called UK Astronomy, we're a charity. What can you do for us? So he literally went, give me a moment, sat me down, gave me a coffee, as they always do. They try and sort of like, you know, tender you up a bit, ready for the deal and how much it's going to cost. And then he said to me, right, we can knock something like 7 grand off the van for you. I was like, that's amazing. How? He said, because you're a charity. Because you're a charity, we'll knock 7 grand off, which means that then we can put more money into the actual conversion of the van. So that's how we got the van, through Brian Curry. Once we'd got the van, then, you know, we've just got a big white van. What are we going to do with it? We need to make it look cool. We need to do something inside. 1, for security. 2, so that when people open it up, they go, wow, that looks stunning. It looks really cool. So somehow we went to, it was actually Persimmon Homes again. We went to one of their open days because they invited us in, obviously, because we won the money for the van, to chat to other people who had done the same and won other money through them. And we were chatting to this lady, and she said there's these guys called Shred and Butter. And I think they used to do surfboards and things. They're down in Surrey, and they converted I think it was a bus. She said they converted a bus for her into like a mobile library. So I thought, oh, this is interesting. If they can do a bus, they must be able to do a van. So luckily through there, we got their details from her. We rang them up, had a chat with them and said, look, we've got this white van, this is what we want to do with it. What do you think? The guy invited me straight down there, so I drove all the way down to Surrey, sat down again, chatted to them, and he literally right there and then said, how much have you got for it? That's a nice budget, because obviously you got the 7 grand knocked off, which helped us then convert more. And he was like, right, I'm going to draw you a plan right now. So he literally sat there with me for about an hour, drawing a plan of ideas of what we could do with this van. And from there, I went back to my wife, because obviously she's the boss. She gets all the funding. Chatted to her, she said, yeah, it looks like a good idea. So then I had to measure everything. Every scope, every binocular, every bit of gear. And he literally built shelves in the back for us. There's a cage inside, 1 for security and 2 so all the scopes fit in nicely. He then also had a guy that could do the wrap. So then the guy that is his mate did the wrap. He sent us details of what we want on there. Naturally, we want our logo, which is the Mars and UK Astronomy. We want the website. There's also a galaxy on the front, just at the top there, which is actually a galaxy one of our members on the Facebook group got a picture of, a real galaxy up in the sky. So he sent us that, and then on the back you can see on the wrap as well, there's actually a picture of a sort of silhouette of a boy and his dad, I believe, looking through a telescope with sort of like a sunset sky. And that was done right here at Emberton, which is where it first started, our charity started. So the actual picture on the back of the van is what we have here.